polysyllabic profundity proverb.
All coruscating entities are not auriferous, which is to say, all that glitters is not gold. Actually, Shakespeare wrote it as glisters, but all that glitters is not gold.
The Distinguished Dozen. Three Latin invaders.
Et, means and, as in et al., that's and others, et cetera, and other things, et tu Brute, and you Brutus, et. Summa, S-U-M-M-A, the highest thing, as in summit, summary, summa. Tabula, T-A-B-U-L-A, tablet, also table, tabulate, tab, tabula.
Three little words.
Ebb, E-B-B, meaning to flow back, recede, a decline, recidivate. The tide is said to ebb and flow. Ebb. Lop, L-O-P, meaning to cut off unnecessary and superfluous things. Some dog owners lop off their puppies' tails. Lop. Vex, V-E-X, meaning to irritate, annoy, pester, bother. Don't vex me with inane questions. Vex.
Three Greek gifts.
Cat, C-A-T, meaning release, dissolve, loosen, as in cataclysm, catalog, catalyst. Cat. Neo, N-E-O, meaning new, as in neophyte, neoclassicism, neonatal, neo. Syn, S-Y-N, meaning together, as in synthesis, synchronize, synergy, sin.
Three purloined foreign language expressions.
Tabula rasa, T-A-B-U-L-A-R-A-S-A. Literally, it means erased tablet, a clean slate of mind. The wolf boy's mind was tabula rasa. Homo sapiens, H-O-M-O-S-A-P-I-E-N-S. It literally means one surviving sapient, that is, wise or discerning. Modern man, the last surviving discerning being. As in, the responsibilities of being a Homo sapiens can take away from the pleasure. Homo sapiens. Summum bonum, S-U-M-M-U-M, B-O-N-U-M. The greatest or supreme good. The summum bonum of life is kindness. Summum bonum.
The Lollapalooza.
The Lollapalooza for this lesson is ratiocinate, meaning to reason methodically and logically. Ratiocinate, R-A-T-I-O-C-E-N-A-T-E. One might say, the commander is logical and unemotional. He can ratiocinate with the best of them. Ratiocinate. Salam, it's JMB again. Congratulations. You're at the halfway point in your pursuit of $1 million vocabulary. I am completely sincere when I say, well done. You can count yourself as part of a small percentage of people who are trying to reach their potential as communicators and as fully actualized individuals. At this point, please consider these mastery learning inquiries of mine into your new learning behaviors. Number 1, are you now noticing interesting words when you listen or read? Number 2, are you jotting down such words on a notepad or a computer until you can learn them? Number 3, are you keeping a master list of words which are special to you for some reason in your playbook? Number 4, Are you re-listening to a recorded lesson of mine from time to time? Number 5, have you sequestered some personal time for reading and participating in the printed playbook lessons? Number 6, are you noticing the many ways in which you are feeling more confident in your verbal abilities? And number 7, last but not least, have you noticed that your brain has learned to learn? For instance, do you now know your most effective learning style or styles? Do you employ intentional learning, productive practice, and effective reinforcement? Are you becoming a master learner? Can you feel that particular kind of power about yourself? Finally, and specific to our vocabulary personal learning course, are you listening to each lesson calmly and receptively? Are you using the context to keep up with the information being presented while holding your curiosity in abeyance until the point in the lesson when the vocabulary words in context are pronounced, spelled, defined, and used in a sentence, or in a quiz, or in an exercise? That's how these lessons work best, you know. Don't over-ponder unknown to you words that are used. Don't stop the recording and play it back. And for goodness sake, don't stop listening and participating and reach for a dictionary. Let these thoughtfully and carefully constructed lessons do their work in their own way and in their own time. Just listen and absorb, okay? Okay. Keep your mind attentive, calm, and receptive, and let the lesson reveal itself to you. I sincerely hope you answered yes to all or most of these self-discovery queries, because I want to talk to you about reading as an art and a science, and in so doing, share with you many a wonderful word for your million-dollar vocabulary. Adult reading is thinking. Here we might say it's cognition, contemplation, consideration, and cerebration. Efficient and effective reading is a celebration, too, because it's one of the golden keys that unlock the doors of knowledge and wisdom. Adult reading is the quintessential and infallible open sesame for vocabulary development and, of course, for subject matter confidence and competence as well. It's not too much to say that puissant and ruminative reading can be the apex, the vertex, the apogee, the zenith, the acme, the pinnacle of learning. All 6 of those words refer to apical, A-P-I-C-A-L, which means the highest point. It should be noted at this place in our lesson that listening shares the learning honors with reading, of course. Taken together, these awesome skills account for about 90% of the substantive information one comes across in a lifetime of learning. The twofold purpose of this lesson is 1, to continue to synergize with you toward developing a powerful vocabulary, and 2, to acquaint you in abbreviated form with the best current thinking about efficient adult reading mindsets and procedures. Speaking of vocabulary acquisition, let's break precedent and consider next the pronunciation, spelling, and meanings of several prevenient words I used in my opening comments. As I present them, picture the words, syllables, letters. See them in your mind, up to the right. It will help. Cerebration. C-E-R-E-B-R-A-T-I-O-N. Thinking or thought. Cerebration. Infallible. I-N-F-A-L-L-I-B-L-E. Incapable of failing. Dependable. That's infallible. Open sesame. O-P-E-N-S-E-S-A-M-E. A seemingly foolproof means of gaining access and attaining success. Open sesame. Ruminative. R-U-M-I-N-A-T-I-V-E. Meditative, reflective, contemplative, ruminative. Apical, A-P-I-C-A-L, an adjective meaning or pertaining to, located at, or constituting the highest place, the apex. That's apical. I'll restate with definitions first. Please say the correct word with me. thinking, thought, is cerebration. Incapable of failing, dependable, is infallible. A seemingly foolproof means of gaining access and attaining success, open sesame. Meditative, reflective, contemplative, that's ruminative. An adjective meaning of or pertaining to or located at or constituting the highest place, the apex, is apical. Our next group of million-dollar words begins with apex, A-P-E-X. That's the vertex, the apogee, the zenith, the acme, the pinnacle. They're all nouns meaning the highest point, the top, apex. Acquisitive, not inquisitive, but acquisitive. A-C-Q-U-I-S-I-T-I-V-E. Acquisitive means tending to acquire and retain ideas and information. Acquisitive. Substantive, S-U-B-S-T-A-N-T-I-V-E. That's the essence and substance of something. Essential. Substantive. Synergize, S-Y-N-E-R-G-I-Z-E. To cooperate or coordinate, to synergize. Prevenient, P-R-E-V-E-N-I-E-N-T. Antecedent, preceding, prevenient. For some reason, I really like the word prevenient. I don't know why, I just do. I wonder if you're experiencing that kind of thing right now too. You hear a word and you just think, I like that word, I want to know that word, I want to use that word. It's actually a lot of fun, isn't it? Now I'll restate this set of words with definitions first. Vertex, apogee, zenith, acme, pinnacle, they all mean the highest point, the top. Apex. There certainly are an awful lot of words that mean at the top, aren't there? That may be a lesson for us here. Tending to acquire and retain ideas and information, acquisitive. The essence and substance of something, essential, substantive. Cooperate, coordinate. That's to synergize. That's what we're doing now. Antecedent, preceding. My favorite, prevenient. It's time for a quick quiz. Number 1, ruminative. Ruminative means A, contemplative, B, dependable, or C, tending to acquire. Ruminative means contemplative. Number 2, prevenient. Prevenient means thoughtful, antecedent, or essential. Prevenient means antecedent, preceding. Number 3, cerebration is spelled C-E-R-E-B-R-A-T-I-O-N. Number 4, synergize is spelled S-Y-N-E-R-G-I-Z-E. I find knowing these words and others like them enjoyable, enabling, and empowering. I hope you do too. I'll begin my discussion of efficient and effective adult reading by previewing my main points. I'll cover what most persons without training hobble, that is, impede themselves with. Then we'll unhobble you with some cardinal rapid reading rules you'll want to adopt. We'll close the discussion with a review and summary. The first hobble. Millions of persons read slowly and poorly, largely because they don't get ready to read. Most folks take time to warm up a little before strenuous activity. They look at a map or two before a trip. They make an outline before they write. But do they get ready to read? No. And yet, reading is more challenging and demanding than all those other activities put together. So, how can you get ready? Here's what to do. Number 1, get your environment fixed. Good light, comfortable clothes and seating, low noise, no distractions. 2, look over your reading materials. Length, presence of reading age such as subtitles and marginal notes, preface and summary, the apparent difficulty. 3. Read the title and lock it in your mind. 4. Close your eyes. That's right. Close your eyes to help you concentrate and avoid distractions. Now, think about the title. That gives you focus before you read. Think about it a second time, in another light if possible. Knowing the title helps you determine on an ongoing, in-reading basis if the author is on or off course. That is, knowing and using the title as a guide and a locator for your thoughts allows you to be an active participant instead of a passive recipient in the sharing and transfer of information and knowledge. Think about the title one more time, again in a different way. Predetermine that you will reflect on the title after reading and use that title as a touchstone of the author's effectiveness and probity. A note here. One interesting and very effective way to see a title in a different light is to change the emphasis from word to word. For example, the rhyme of the ancient mariner, the rhyme of the ancient mariner, the rhyme of the ancient mariner. Try it yourself with an expression you probably heard from your mom or your dad a couple of times. Look at me. Look at me. Look at me. Parentheses, when I'm talking to you. Number 5, set a purpose. Decide exactly what you want from having read the material before you. Do you need an overview, or do you need to memorize details such as names and dates? Is the material important to you or to someone else? Do you have prior knowledge of the subject, or is your brain, so to speak, tabula rasa? Decide whether you wish to achieve long-term or short-term retention. I'm serious. Empirical and heuristic research has determined that we can choose the type of memory we need to employ. And what's more, we need to do that in advance of reading or listening for memory to take place as we wish. Human beings do not respond well to purposeless activities. Set a purpose for your work. Second hobble. Most persons read slowly and carefully when the things they're reading are important. That makes sense, doesn't it? No, it does not. Surprised? Don't be. Ever try to teach someone to serve a tennis ball or drive a stick-shift car by doing all the steps of the process in slow motion? It's usually a debacle because those acts and the actions and attitudes they call for require that you move smoothly and swiftly. So it is with reading. The adult mind hates slow. The adult mind responds to challenge. A reasonable challenge tends to produce extraordinary performances in us Homo sapiens. Reading one word at a time is necessary for children, but they're usually reading for a different purpose than an adult does. They're reading for grammar and spelling and word order and sight words and usage, etc. Adults need to read for thoughts, feelings, and ideas. May I repeat that? Adults need to read for thoughts, feelings, and ideas. We are old enough to understand how our language works. So, what to do? Speed up. Really, speed up. Push yourself from left to right, top to bottom, smoothly and quickly. Challenge yourself. Push yourself. Make a game and a sport of it. Please trust me now, letting yourself read quickly, freeing yourself from the moil and chagrin of slow, laborious reading, is, to say the least, sublime and exhilarating. For the most part, you really do just do it. And in the rapid reading arena, practice does indeed make perfect. You're going to be so pleased with what happens. Finding yourself reading quickly with solid comprehension and good long-term retention is absolutely wonderful. I imagine it's a lot like suddenly being able to fly would feel. The third hobble, recidivation. To recidivate is to backslide, to take 2 steps forward and 3 steps back. It's probably the worst bad habit of inefficient and ineffective adult readers because the habit not only wastes your time, it also robs you of your confidence, and further, it breaks your chain of thought. When you unnecessarily stop your reading and thinking and regress to the rear, you lose the author's unity, the thread that makes the whole piece make sense. Isn't regression necessary, you may ask? Yes, occasionally it is. But if you need to back up 2 or 3 or 4 times in every paragraph, then recidivism won't help you anyway. Obviously, some other significant something is wrong. Maybe you despise the subject or the way the author writes. Perhaps you're tired or depressed. Mayhap the whole business is so far over your head that you can't anticipate the language or actively participate in the knowledge transfer. Whatever it is, you must discover it, then isolate it, then remediate it. On the other hand, it's possible that you're an unprepared, unfocused, uninterested, unsophisticated reader. Up until now, that is. Unhobble yourself. Do yourself the beau geste, the great favor of getting ready and set before you go. When you do go, go swiftly and smoothly, with few regressions and no daydreaming at all. When you naturally and routinely follow these guidelines, you can achieve the highest reading goal of all, concentration. Deep, serious, sustained concentration, which is dependent on and part of the previous suggestions. Concentration is the summum bonum of the reading-learning process. If you can bring your powerful human mind to bear on the topic, any topic, you can learn it. Your mind is more powerful than 100 computers. You can learn anything if you can read efficiently. And you can read efficiently because your potential is enormous, and now you know the basics of how to do so. A brief review. Preview your reading material. Close your eyes and get your mind right. Think about the title and its several uses to you. Don't just read it, think about the title. Set a distinct and definite purpose for your reading. Push your mind to get your speed up once you get into the act of reading. Keep moving ahead. Regress only when you truly need to do so. Concentrate. Keep your magnificent mind on the topic and the task, and think with and ahead of the print. Finally, skitter back through the reading, and using the title as a locator for your thoughts, think about what you've learned, and decide if the writer actually wrote about what was promised in the title. Let's consider 10 words from the efficient reading discourse, which might be of special interest to you. Hobble, H-O-B-B-L-E. To hamper, restrain, or impede is hobble. Cardinal, C-A-R-D-I-N-A-L. Of foremost importance, pivotal is cardinal. Touchstone, T-O-U-C-H-S-T-O-N-E, it's one word. A criterion, a standard, a test of genuineness, touchstone. Probity, P-R-O-B-I-T-Y. Honesty, integrity, uprightness, probity. Retention, R-E-T-E-N-T-I-O-N. Memory, remembrance, cognition. That's retention. Okay, I have a 2-item, true or false, quick quiz for you. Number 1, probity refers to hampering, restraining, or impeding. True or false? That's false. Probity refers to honesty, integrity, and uprightness. Probity. Number 2, touchstone, of foremost importance, pivotal. Is that true or false? It's false. Touchstone is a criterion, a standard, a test of genuineness. Touchstone. All right, let's take a look at another 5 words here. First, debacle, D-E-B-A-C-L-E. That means collapse or rout or ruin. Debacle. Moil, it's a nice little word, M-O-I-L. Drudgery and toil, that's moil. Easy to remember because it rhymes. Chagrin, C-H-A-G-R-I-N. Chagrin is a feeling of embarrassment or humiliation caused by failure or disappointment. Chagrin. Sublime, S-U-B-L-I-M-E. Sublime means noble, grand, majestic. sublime. Beau geste, from the French B-E-A-U, G-E-S-T-E. That's a gracious gesture, beau geste. Our second quick quiz is a spell checker. Chagrin, meaning embarrassment, is spelled C-H-A-G-R-I-N. Beau geste, meaning a gracious gesture, is spelled B-E-A-U, beau, geste, G-E-S-T-E. Let me re-present these power-packed words' definitions first. Please say the word with me. To hamper, restrain, impede is to hobble. Of foremost importance, pivotal is cardinal. A criterion, a standard, a test of genuineness, that's a touchstone. Honesty, integrity, uprightness, probity, memory, remembrance, cognition, retention. Collapse, rout, ruin, debacle. Drudgery, toil, moil. A feeling of embarrassment or humiliation caused by failure or disappointment, chagrin. Noble, grand, majestic, sublime. A gracious gesture, beau geste. Quick quiz number 3 is multiple choice. Number 1, the word cardinal refers to A, a test of genuineness, B, a standard, or C, pivotal. Cardinal refers to pivotal. Number 2, moil means A, drudgery, B, honesty, C, majestic. Moil means drudgery. By way of concluding our lesson, I'd like to present a few interesting words from the education/psychology/sociology word stock. The first is ambivalence. A-M-B-I-V-A-L-E-N-C-E. Ambivalence refers to conflicting feelings of love and hate. Ambivalence. Ethnocentrism. E-T-H-N-O-C-E-N-T-R-I-S-M is belief in the superiority of one's own ethnic group. Compare ethnocentrism with egocentrism, the belief that oneself is superior to everyone else. Ethnocentrism. Compensation, a psychic mechanism or process whereby an individual compensates for a frustrated drive or inadequacy or imperfection by substituting or stressing another drive, trait, or function to make up for a perceived shortcoming. Compensation. C-O-M-P-E-N-S-A-T-I-O-N. Rationalization. R-A-T-I-O-N-A-L-I-Z-A-T-I-O-N. Justifying unreasonable behavior with falsehoods is rationalization. Syncretism. S-Y-N-C-R-E-T-I-S-M. Syncretism refers to the attempt to combine or reconcile differing beliefs, as in philosophy or religion. From syn, S-Y-N, Greek, for bringing things together, and cretin, to unite. Syncretism. Mores, M-O-R-E-S. Mores are the accepted traditional customs and usages of a particular social group. Mores. Peripatetic. P-E-R-I-P-A-T-E-T-I-C. Of or pertaining to the teaching methods of Aristotle, who conducted discussions while walking about in the Lyceum of ancient Athens. Peripatetic. Empirical. E-M-P-I-R-I-C-A-L. Empirical usually refers to research findings derived from analysis of collected or experimental data. Empirical research. Heuristic, H-E-U-R-I-S-T-I-C, refers to research by investigation and observation rather than by statistical analysis of collected data. heuristic research. And finally, Deweyan, D-E-W-E-Y-A-N. That refers to the works of John Dewey, the preeminent American educator, philosopher, and author who believed in learning by doing. As you may remember, did Edward Robinson, the learning to learn guru we studied before. Deweyan. All right, a quick quiz. These words comprise a matching quiz in your playbook. Let me here just ask you my favorite three from the list. Number one, a belief in the superiority of one's own ethnic group is called ethnocentrism. Number two, syncretism refers to reconciling differing beliefs. And three, heuristic research is accomplished by observation more than by statistical analysis of data. Well, that's our lesson. Listen to it again when you can. All the words highlighted in this recording are used again in your playbook lesson or in the glossary, as are several very interesting others that were not here singled out for examination. The benediction for this lesson is from S.T. Hayakawa. It is not true that we have only one life to live. If we can read, we can live as many lives and as many kinds of lives as we wish. Shalom.